Song's like the Telltale Heart, man. It's going to make me murderous. All right, on the right side of the map, it is our Zerg player from the Team Prime. This guy's done really well today. Does he deserve a spot in Code S, though? Check Prime. Check it out. And over here, he's beaten Code A champions today. He's beaten Code S champions today. But can he secure himself a spot in Code S? I admit, I'm kind of pulling for this guy. I gotta say, he's really, really played hard today.
Hey, you know, Doa, guess what?
What's that?
I figured out what that song was saying earlier. What it was saying is, here, what they were doing is, you know, Starcraft players like to play soccer a lot sometimes on the weekends and stuff.
Yeah.
And so the band members, they were trying to say, you know, if you're gonna play soccer against another team, let's get a goal, 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 goal.
I'm not even gonna try to laugh anymore. I can't do it. Can't do it, Mole Trap.
I broke Doa. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
I admit defeat.
Anyway, check going for hatchery first, by the way.
Scanapedes take me away.
It looked like 15 hatch, 14 pool. Pretty normal opening. ZVT.
Yep.
Relatively safe.
So, the big issue here is what sort of green conservation efforts are jjakji going to put into play to make sure that he doesn't ruin the environment on the nice side of the map?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering this game.
He needs to have strict regulation enforced on him during this game.
That's right.
You know, we don't want him to, like, you know, send out his mechanized units spreading nasty fumes and waste out the back or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, now Czech's side of the map is already pretty polluted and nasty.
Well,
so
nobody expects Zergs to really care. Whoa, SCV death. Man, do you know how many carbon emissions that releases into the air when you kill an SCV?
I don't. Tell me.
Quite a bit.
Okay.
I don't have the numbers on me right now, but it's a lot. This Marine's like, hey, my SCV was...
Although, you know, the Scantipede over here is actually, you know, alive and well, even on the nasty side of the map. So maybe
like
the wildlife
roaches.
isn't affected by the Zerg.
They're like roaches. They survive anywhere and everywhere in all environments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they need to nerf Scanipedes to make them 2 supply.
How many supply are they now?
I don't know, actually.
Oh.
Maybe
Only Blizzard knows. Only
Blizzard
knows.
I'd have to go into the map editor and find out.
All right, so command center on the way. Zerglings romping past the unclickable sheep, and
I always want to click it.
I know. I wouldn't be surprised to see, Blue Flame Hellions from jjakji. All right, that could be pretty good. This map is relatively wide open. It's easier to sneak back behind the mineral line with the natural on this map than some of the other maps. So we do see Blue Flame Hellions quite a bit.
There's also unclickable birds on this map.
Yeah. Clickable herbs, you said? Or
birds.
Birds. Oh, there are also herbs as well.
And mushrooms.
Oh, look at that. Check Prime. Knows what's up. Knows there's probably going to be Hellions out. Doesn't know that they're going to be Blue Flame, but he wants to stay safe anyway. 2 more barracks going down as well.
A Spine Crawler at his natural.
Yeah.
And I like it. He's got his Zerglings on the ramp. It's a good little trap. If the Hellions are like, oh, I can just run past this Spine Crawler, the Zerglings trap him right within range of the Spine Crawler and it dies. Yeah,
well, just imagine how that's going to be if the patch notes on the test realm right now become true and you have 1 less vision up ramp. Up ramps. I mean, that could make things that pretty big.
True.
Units are going to be taking more damage coming up from ramps.
They're going to be taking, theoretically, less damage from Hellions, of course, though. And Blue Flame is just about finished upgrading, and he only has a few Hellions on the map right now, but he is also getting a starport. I'm curious if he's going to try and drop those Hellions into the main past that Spine Crawler, kill some drones.
Yeah, it certainly could be as well. It's a good map for that. The sort of bottom left edge of the main where Lucera is relatively easy to drop at. That's usually the most common place we see that happen. Oh, looks like he's going to lose an Overlord, though. That doesn't help. And I meant check when I said Lucera.
It's been a long day.
Zergs,
and
man.
Czech didn't make enough Zerglings to really go out and deal with that either.
Yeah.
So, not going to be able to respond to that too much.
Oh, that's a pretty quick Spire for Lucera. That's going to be nice because there's a lot of stuff out right now for jjakji that does not hit air.
True. Yeah, those Hellions.
Well, that medevac as well. You know, it's not going to, well, obviously it doesn't hit air, but it's not going to be able to really drop very effectively when Mutalisks are killing it.
That is the case. Looks like he's going to do some Marine medevac with Blue Flame Hellion support attack, like you were talking about earlier, I guess what you called the kind of Slayer style attack.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Slayers players doing things like this. It's kind of been adopted as a just aggressive, strong opening on TVZ. It requires such good micro multitasking, though, that we haven't seen it become a standard or anything.
He only has 4 Zerglings right now. He's making 14 more. Oh, but he's targeting down the medevac, and he gets the medevac. Nicely done. Very smart move indeed. He might lose a queen for it, but that's an even trade.
Well, he even got it with a Hellion inside, too, I believe. Oh, nope, never mind. It did jump out at the last second.
Yeah, so now those Hellions cannot properly support those Marines on the top unless he gets close to the edge.
He's going for it. He's got to get the Marines. 1 Marine left.
Oh, sacrifices all of his Zerglings, but does get those Marines.
And a queen, too.
And stops the threat.
Yeah. Now, the nice thing for jjakji is that used up a good amount of resources that Lucira could have used to make more Mutas. He's already making 7, and that's a good amount, but he could have had, that many more. It's a little bit scary.
Yeah, he had to build a lot of Zerglings there to deal with that.
Yep, you see he's sitting on 500 gas right now. He'd prefer that to be Mutalisks.
Yeah, so really good timing on that attack.
Yeah. And looks like meanwhile back at the base of jjakji, well, back at the base that doesn't exist, just where the Hellions are, they're running around the map, trying to do some damage. They can keep the Mutalisks close to home if they pressure, but they also die, quicker that way as well.
True. Yeah.
Things looking pretty safe back at the base of jjakji.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that he's running his Hellions all the way back home. That actually doesn't make any sense. They can't do any good against these Mutas right now, so they would be better off harassing and keeping some of the Mutas back.
And speaking of harassing, here come the Mutas from Czech Prime, picking off some Marines as they exit the barracks. And, he's going to be able to do a little bit of damage, a little bit of harassment. Overall, he's going to need to pull back. But at this point, Lucira has a pretty good chance of just making a ton of Mutalisks, just going very Muta heavy. And that could work pretty well against what jjakji's got right now. Getting that Baneling Nest as well, just to stay a little bit safer.
Yep, Czech is getting that Baneling Nest.
Yep.
And an extra hatchery as well, so he really wants to just make it happen off these 2 bases at the moment. He may still get a 3rd, but needs that extra hatchery for extra production. And the Hellion's getting caught in the middle here by these Mutas. So they are going to, 2 of them die.
I gotta say, I really, really like the timing for siege mode that jjakji is doing. It's so good. I mean, he doesn't get siege mode until he needs siege mode,
Oh,
that's efficient.
Did he see? I'm not sure if he saw those Marines moving up there. jjakji's moving around the top of the map in order to attack the 3rd and also keep his force hidden.
He's gotta be careful.
Needs to be careful about those siege tanks, protecting them.
Yep. And he will get a couple Marines. Whoa, Czech! Not being too careful, losing a couple Mutas. Ouch.
The 3rd gets canceled. Czech knew that he couldn't defend that. He's going to be hard-pressed to defend this push at his natural. Actually, he does have some Banelings.
jjakji is just that smart. He's like, I caused you to cancel your 3rd. That's all I really wanted to do. I'm just going to go home and be safe.
This entire day, he's played so safe in that kind of thing. It's really, really smart of him.
Yeah. Well, the more I see it, the more I'd be perfectly satisfied with seeing this guy in Code S. I mean, he's playing better today than I think I've ever seen him play.
I'd be curious to see how he was able to do at that
level. Yep. Now, Czech Prime as well. I mean, it's going to be tragic if he doesn't make it, because he's another guy, he wants to get back into Code S so bad. It looks like he really genuinely has improved, So it's too bad to see him get this far in
I got to hand it to him.
If he does end up losing, too.
I got to hand it to him. I still wouldn't call him one of the top Zergs or anything like that, but he's definitely shown some improvement here.
I don't even know if I'd be willing to call him, Code S Zerg yet, but he's definitely, if he's not there, he's close.
Well, he is, of course, one win away from getting into Code S.
What are those tanks doing, man? They're way out in the middle of nowhere.
They're actually asking to die.
That is the most suicidal group of tanks I've ever seen. Yikes, that was close. That a little bit of a misstep by jjakji there.
That would have been huge. Now he has 6 tanks. Imagine if this push only had 3 tanks.
Would have been a lot
weaker.
Huge
difference. And he's actually bringing SCVs along. Nope, never mind.
Well, he's going to secure his third, yeah.
Get a third. Well, it's kind of weird that he Maynards his SCVs down there before actually building the command center, or landing it, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was just that saturated at his natural that he's actually gaining minerals by doing it this way. I kind of have to assume that's what it is.
Could be.
Could be. Mew's still moving around the map. jjakji again, just playing really safe. Doesn't really have a lot defending his natural, though. Those Marines are fairly maneuverable, but still needs to worry a little bit about it. Here he comes, though.
Yep, here he comes in for some more harassment. There's a lot of turrets and Marines there, though. Those meters are forced back. I think it's really interesting the way this is shaping up, how jjakji's third and Czech's third are both kind of in the same area. They both expanded towards each other there. So that's actually going to be good for the Terran because then he's going to be able to attack and defend in the same general area.
Yeah.
Unless he falls his whole army back to the natural. That works too.
Well, Czech is getting his infestation fit as well, so he's going to be doing a little bit better against something like this. A lot of Marines in the army of jjakji right now. He's doing a pretty good job of keeping them split up, though, so it remains to be seen just how effective those infestors are going to be. Pretty quick hive as well for Czech there. Check prime dot weak. And no, you don't want to attack right there. Whoa, that was close. Almost lost a lot of stuff. So with that hive on the way, Czech is basically going to be trying to go for Broodlords as quick as he can. I don't know if this is really the time to be doing this. He's kind of using a lot of resources, making 48 Zerglings right now, but he's going to lose his space.
Yeah, and he's trying to go for the counterattack, but the natural is pretty much invulnerable. There's a planetary at the third, and he comes back with his Marines as well.
Yeah.
So jjakji is actually going to get Czech's third for free and not die to a counterattack this time.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody likes to talk about just how unbreakable the STC is. I think jjakji might be contending for the title here too.
Well, in this game at least. He kind of died to counterattacks in previous games.
Yeah, he hasn't played perfect today, but
counterattacks have been the bane of his existence.
Baneling of his existence.
The baneling of his existence.
Yeah. Greater Spire about to become also another baneling of his existence. He's building right now.
And yeah, tried to burrow some banelings earlier and lost those, so Czech really kind of fallen behind here. We do have 2/2 plus 2 weapons is almost upgraded for jjakji.
Oh, not enough turrets to hold off those mutas.
Wow, this actually could be bad. There the turret goes. Marines are going to chase it off.
Yeah.
Anyway, there is basically no upgrades for the Zerglings of Czech, so those Marines are really... Basically, Zerglings are going to do absolutely nothing to Marines here.
Yeah. The Muta's still trying to do more damage. jjakji did force a cancel on the gold. He's sieging up on the third right now. jjakji's playing pretty well. I don't know.
Yeah, jjakji actually has the most beautiful attack right here. He's got Marines, tanks, Thor, tanks, Marines. That's how tiered his defense is if Czech tried to break that attack. And so now Czech limited to just one mining base.
Yeah.
This is actually pretty close to over. Now Czech does have a lot of units out still. He does have the Greater Spire. He's got some Corruptors out. He's got the money for Broodlords. So if he can come out with a really good Broodlord attack and support it well and control well, he could theoretically make a counterattack.
His third down on the right side of the map too, you know what I mean? If that gets up and running, he's also trying to take the gold as well. So he's not out yet. He's still got a chance, but this is going to be such a hard push to deal with.
Yeah, if he doesn't defend this, then we're going to go to another set of tiebreakers, man.
Yep. Again,
jjakji playing so safe. Tanks and Marines and tanks and Marines. Everything is so tiered. The Broodlords are what he needs. Those Broodlords, everything hinges on them.
Interesting. 6 Broodlords on the way for Czech Prime, but I don't know. I feel like it may be too little too late. Our Terran player's making 3 Vikings in a row right now. And I love it. He just did some damage, pulled away.
Yep. He's like, you know what? You're not even mining, so I don't even care if you get some Broodlords out. I'm just going to fall back, make sure you don't take any expansions, and I'm just going to win the long-term game. And yeah, get some Vikings out. All he needs is a handful of Vikings to deal with those Broodlords, and he's going to be in good shape.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 Vikings out already. Doing pretty good. He's even got 3 ghosts for snipe. Also can EMP infestors, of course, with that. Not going ghost crazy like we saw MVP do the other day. Oh, the gold has been spotted too.
Yeah, the gold never even had a single mineral mine from it.
Yep.
But, well, actually, there's a couple minerals mined from it.
A couple. But not anymore. The gold is dead. He's going to need to defend that command center, though. Can he afford to pull away, though, from this expansion?
That gold doesn't actually matter. All hinges on this. He needs to defeat this army at least once in order for Czech to hold this. He goes in with some Baileys and the Broodlord's raining down, but there's just so many Vikings, and Czech just doesn't have anything to deal with those Vikings right now. Doesn't have an infestors.
Yep.
And the Mutas are trying to go in there, but the Marines defending the Mutas. The Thor's there as well. I think we're going to see Czech finally fold here if he loses this base.
Yeah, I don't think Czech can beat this, man. I mean, the Thor plus all the Vikings mean the end of Czech's army.
Yeah, he's targeting down the Broodlords. GG from Czech, and we have another 3-way tie.
Do we actually? Wow. All right, so jjakji lost to Lucira, beat Czech. Czech beat Lucira, lost to jjakji, I think it was. Yeah, so.
Yep. So we are in another 3-way tie. We're going to have to start it all over from the top.
Whoa, here we go again. Rewind about however long it was. Let's do it one more time. Hooray.
Or maybe 2, maybe 3.
Yes.
Who knows?
That's right.
We could be here all night, man.
I'm ready, man. I'm going to get some coffee during the break that I'm hoping we're about to take, and we're going to be all set.
Yeah, we're going to see if we're going to take a break in a minute. But yes, so for those of you that are just joining us, by the way, we did end up with a 3-way tie in the up and down group. The top 2 advanced, but we ended up with 3 players that each had 3 wins and 1 loss. So then those 3 players, jjakji, Czech, and Lucira are now in a 3-way tiebreaker. And we had the same thing happen where, as Joe has just explained, Czech beat Lucira, Lucira beat jjakji, and jjakji beat Czech. So it's another 3-way tie. We are going to have that break. Don't go anywhere. Come back in a few minutes for the last, maybe, of the tiebreakers. We're going to find out.